screen. Okay. Okay, so the materials in order to prepare you, okay, to complete the assessment, okay, I have actually uploaded the okay, okay, I have actually uploaded the materials, okay, in your author. Okay, what you can do is you can go to group activities. Okay, this is in regards to your next assessment, graded assessment, which is producing a written report. Okay, so you have to click here. Okay, and then you have to join. Okay, and then you have to join your group. Okay, so as for the group members, remember, this is a continuous assessment whereby, okay, this is a continuous assessment whereby, okay, it is a continuation from your proposal, okay, your interview and questionnaire construction, and this will be the next one, which is written report. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to join your group, and then you have to, one of you, the group leader, has to create a Google Doc link, okay, of your final report, and then you have to add me as the one of the editors of your report, and you have to notify me via WhatsApp once you've submitted the link. Okay, now let's go through the rubrics. The instruction and the rubrics. Okay, so this is the instruction. Okay, it is a group work, 40%, and full mark is 100%. So for this assignment, you are supposed to produce a report based on your research topic. The content of your report includes, okay, introduction, and under introduction, you have background and purpose, procedure and method, findings, conclusion, recommendation, references, and appendices. Okay, as for the required format, okay, as for the required format, okay, the font size is 12. Okay, wait for a moment, eh. Hello, Mak. Okay, kita ada kelas. Nanti kita telefon balik, Mak, eh. Okay, bye. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Okay, so as for the required format, okay, 12 point. The size is 12. Okay, the font type is Times New Roman, 1.5 spacing, and the references would be in APA format. Okay, now let's go through the rubrics, okay, of the assessment. Okay, if you wish to score high, okay, you have to, okay, let's take a look at the rubrics. Okay, as I mentioned before, full mark is 100 marks. Okay, 50 marks are for language, and another 50 marks are for content. Okay, so under language, we have vocabulary and grammar. Vocabulary, 25 marks, and grammar, 25 marks. Okay, so under language, okay, particularly vocabulary, okay, you will get high marks if you use a very wide range of vocabulary, and there is hardly any incorrect word choices, and the linking devices are highly accurate. Okay, in terms of the grammar, the report contains a very good variety of sentence structures and forms. Okay, the report also meets all expected standard punctuation conventions and excellent control of spelling. So you will get high marks in terms of grammar. Okay, now let's take a look at the content. As for the organization, 5 marks. Okay, the report has a very clear overall structure and it follows the standard layout of a research. Okay. As for the introduction, okay, it introduces the problem in a very clear and systematic way. Okay, under background and purpose. Okay, now let's continue. Under background and purpose, okay, well-framed background, okay, based on facts supported with strong sources of evidence specific to the topic and very clear stated purpose that connects very well to the background. Okay, now let's take a look at the procedure. It provides concise and thorough description of the data collection procedure. Okay, as for the findings, okay, all findings addressed and fully developed, all relevant data and details explained. And as for conclusion, the report evaluates different facts and draws conclusion very well. Okay. Under recommendations, it provides very relevant and convincing recommendations. Okay. As for the references, the EPA format fully observed, and as for the appendix, you attach relevant and complete documents. Okay. So now I will further explain the content of your report. Okay, I have included the references under learning material. Okay, you can click on report writing and then you go to sample a research report, sample report 1 and sample report 2 when you want to write your final report, because these contain examples. Okay, these contain examples of a report. Okay, now let's go through writing a final report. So this is the note. Okay. Okay, so writing a final report. Okay. So there are several things that you should include in a report. So it depends on your purpose. Okay. And in general, a report should include a letter of transmittal. And this is an example of letter of transmittal. Okay. However, um, in regards to this assignment, okay, you don't have to produce this letter. However, if you want to, I encourage you to do so because it is a good practice. Okay, what is the function of a letter of transmittal? This is actually a cover letter. Okay, a cover letter that you attach together with the report. Okay, to the person or organization that requested the report. Okay. Okay. Next, full a title page is also important because this outlines, okay, the name of the report, who prepared the report, to whom the report was prepared, the nature of report, and the date the report was prepared. So this is an example of the title page. Okay. And now let's go through the meaning of an abstract. Okay, an abstract is also another element of a report. Okay, it contains a summary and usually it is very brief. And when you read the abstract, you know the main idea or the content of the report in general. Okay, you have to have the aim or the purpose, the procedures followed, the main findings, okay, as well as conclusions and recommendations. Okay. So when you want to produce your abstract later, you can follow the examples given here. Okay, a content page. It helps interested researchers or readers of your report, okay, to find relevant or uh, to direct their attention to a particular section that they are interested in. For example, if they are interested to know your data collection method, they can straight away go to the second page. If they want to see the recommendations, they will go to page 22. Okay. Okay. The report itself, of course, is the most important part of the report. Okay, usually the report is broken into several sections, and each section and subsection has a heading. Okay, thus it is important for you to have a very good numbering system. Okay, and it shows the flow of your research. Okay, this is the sample of the numbering system, okay, used in the report writing. So we have introduction, procedure, analysis of data, conclusions, recommendation, references, and appendices. So if you arrange your report like this, okay, it will be very systematic. Okay, it will look very systematic. Okay, as for the parts of report, okay, under introduction, you will have to explain further on the aim and the scope. Okay, as for the aim, you indicate the purpose of the report, why you produce the report. Okay, and as for the scope, okay, it highlights, okay, what the report includes and excludes. Okay. Okay, for example, this feasibility study indicates the environmental feasibility of the proposed damming of the Blue River between Johnson's Creek and Blackstump Creek. It does not include building specifications of the dam itself. A further proposal would be offered if Council decides to proceed with the recommendations of this study. Okay, so under background to study, okay, this section includes, you have to include any relevant details regarding the background information that may be required, okay, to make sense of the information in the report. Okay, sometimes it may contain the history of a project or major players in the project. Okay, so these are the examples on how you can produce your background to study. As for the data collection method, okay, in this section, okay, in general, you will explain ways you collect your data, okay, that will provide the basis for analysis and will produce conclusions and recommendations. Okay, even though it may be called something different, all reports use specific data and ways of collecting it that will be included in this section. Okay, so in research report, okay, in research report, the writer probably will use different heading because the data will mainly come from text and journal articles. Okay, so this is the section where you would discuss the main issue arising from your research. Okay, so in reports that are based on data you have collected yourself, like the report used in the example so far, okay, this section would detail the methods you use to collect that data and why those methods were chosen. Okay, so in your case, as for the assignment, okay, this is the type of writing that you have to emulate. Okay. Okay, now we have come to the analysis of data part. Okay, most probably, okay, and most of the time, okay, this section is the longest section in most report. And over here, you have to use visual displays, okay? For example, graphs, charts, tables, maps, graphic displays, okay? To summarize the findings that you have encountered from the data that you have obtained, okay? So each set of data may be highlighted in more than one way, okay? And every diagram or visuals should come with a title, figure or table number, and should be clearly labeled, okay? And each set of data is systematically displayed and analyzed in a paragraph under the appropriate diagram. Okay, so now let's take a look at the examples. Okay, so this is the title. Okay, this is the title. Okay, and then you have a table number. Okay, and then it is properly and clearly labeled, and it comes with a paragraph or two. Okay, it depends on the situation. Sometimes 2 to 3 paragraphs are needed to explain. Okay, so this is the explanation of the table, of the above table. Okay, and the conclusion part are dot pointed and are drawn directly from the analysis section of the report. Okay, dot points are used when the sequential order is not important. Okay, for each section under the main heading analysis, there should be at least one corresponding conclusion. Okay, so is in dot point. Okay, and as for the recommendation, okay, it includes the suggestions for further action based on your conclusion. So not all reports will ask for recommendation. Okay, some will have a section where both conclusions and recommendations are given. Okay, recommendations are numbered as they normally follow sequentially. And as for the reference, okay, a reference list with publication details of source use should be included after the conclusion and recommendation section. Okay, and if you have appendices for your report, you have to attach it. Okay, examples of appendices, it can be raw data sheets, okay, extra or supplementary information or diagrams and maps, okay. And you have to also mention in your report, okay, which appendix belong to which statement, okay. And for glossary, okay, it is also important for you, okay, to put glossary, because sometimes you need to provide more understanding to the reader, okay, of your report, because sometimes different field, different words, okay, different meaning, depending on feedback. For example, um, okay, as mentioned here, okay, when there is a lot of jargons contained in a report, as in science or engineering, a glossary of terms should also be included. Okay, and here sometimes words can have different meanings in different discipline. Okay, so if you need to put a glossary, usually after the content page, you have to put the glossary. Okay, and as for the language style, okay, you have to, it has to be concrete, active, and formal, and no bias or fudging results. Okay, especially when it comes to legal documents. Okay, and as for the layout, the use of white space is very important in report writing. Okay, spacing between headings, subheadings, paragraphs, end of sections, and diagram need to be uniform. Okay, you have to have a proper structure. Okay. Okay, for the purpose of this assignment, this is the format. So for the report, you have to have 4 elements. Okay, 4 elements. Let's go through together. So under introduction, okay, you have background of study, okay, statement of problems, objectives, significance of the study, limitation of the study, definition of terms, and procedure or method. So while waiting for the feedback for your questionnaire and interview, I would like you to this week focus on this part first. Focus on this part. Okay, you have to give further explanation. Okay, as for the methodology, if you don't use experiment, just exclude experiment. Okay, so you only mention the procedures or methodology that you are planning to, or you have conducted. So just focus on that. As for the findings and discussion, okay, you have to have the title, the graph, chart, or table, and you have to also analyze and discuss in 2 or 3 paragraphs. Okay. Okay, so this is the example. Okay. Okay, and the conclusion, as mentioned before, it is based on the findings. And as for the recommendation, it is based on the conclusion. And the references should be in APA style. So when you want to produce your report later on, make sure you follow the convention. Make sure you have these elements so that you will realize, you will know that you are on the right track. Okay, and I would like to remind you, okay, don't try try to work together with your group members in a good way. Don't be a passenger. Okay, don't be a backpacker. Okay, so you make sure you conduct collaborative writing when it comes to writing this report. Of course, each and every one of you will have different tasks, but you have to know, okay, your report all in all, because during oral tests, your knowledge towards the content of the report will be tested. Okay, so make sure you have all these elements in your report, okay, when you produce it later on. Okay, class, any questions so far?
Currently, no, doctor.
Currently, no. Okay. So what I would like you to do is, I would like for you to direct your attention to your author. Okay, your author, you download relevant materials and then you go to group activities. Okay, so group activities, you click, okay, week 11, producing a written report, and then you join the right group. You join your respective group. After that, what I would like you to do is you create straight away your Google Doc report document, and then you share the link to me via WhatsApp. Later, I will give the template, and then you just cut and paste the link there. Okay. And I would like to ask for your prayers for my husband, because he is currently um, stage 4 of COVID. So I need all the prayers that he can get. And then at the moment, my Mentakap house is really in a bad shape. So for those of you who are directly affected, um, I wish you uh, uh, continue be stronger, stronger than ever. So anyone directly affected? I did like from other classes, there are a few who directly affected. How about this class? This class, I think no one directly affected. Okay, that's good. That's good. Fakrudin, your uncle's house. You have already he has already cleaned his house, right? But I'm not so sure about my house, because at the moment I'm still in Parit Raja. Okay, so if you don't have any question, you may continue with your discussion with your group members. Wherever you are,